Alright. We're back. I have no idea what to say. I'd say you should start it.
Well, I have an interesting concept that I think people might be able to understand a little bit better. And I mentioned this in another time we talked earlier today. It was about stages of a company. And I like to look at Tesla. So Tesla's a company now that's making their third generation of cars. And it's a $35,000 electric car.
Yeah.
That was the dream that they had, was how do we make a mass car for people that's electric and change the car industry.
Yeah.
But realize, and Elon Musk, the founder and CEO, he talked about this in a recent address. He said, a recent like stockholder address event, he said, it took us time to get here. He said, this is where we wanted to be. But first we had to make the upscale car that cost 90 grand. And then we had to create this, and we had to create that. It takes steps. And one thing that I think in the lack of vision that a lot of people in the parkour world, a lot of people don't have, a lot of people in the whole world don't have, is understanding that things take time to get to where you want to be. And so yes, in the beginning, you have to sell only t-shirts because that's all the money you have, and you can't give endorsement salaries, right? And then you progress, and then you're making shoes, and the shoes are good, they're solid, but they're not the best shoe, right? I mean, if we're talking about making the best shoe ever for parkour, we need to have a heck of a lot of money to do different researches and different tests and different materials. But what we are able to do with what we have is leverage our creativity and leverage our partners to create a great shoe that's new, that brings in different qualities, that improves on the generic shoes like Puma, Nike, Adidas, the Traceurs like, and makes something that's awesome. But even now, even our newest shoe isn't the best shoe. I know that. And if you wear it, you're going to know that. But what we want to do is create something of value. So we're still in the point where it's like, is this shoe worth the amount of money I'm paying for it? Heck yeah. It's a freaking great shoe, right? But then if you're critiquing it because it doesn't have the absolute perfect sole or the absolute perfect weight or the absolute perfect this or that, it's like, well, yeah, I agree with you, it doesn't, right? We're a couple years away from that. But that's the building process. It takes the time to understand that the first iteration isn't going to be the best. But we're going to do it with integrity, with character, with quality. We're going to provide great value. And then everyone who gets on board with that is going to help us achieve the true dream and potential, which is to make what we really want. And it's that vision, that's a long-term vision. We're 8 years along the path. We're still not where I want us to be. But along that whole 8 years, we've had a lot of people critiquing this and hating on this and hating on that. I've had people say, Adam's all about money. It's not all about money. Like, we're not going to be about money. We're going to be about profit sharing and endorsements, et cetera, et cetera. But if you don't focus on the money in stage one, if you don't have your financing right, if you don't have your structure right, if you don't make the tough choices, then you're never going to get there.
Exactly.
So in life, I say a lot of life comes down to what leader you want to follow in life. Who are you going to follow in life? You know, and for some people, that's like, let's say, a lot of times, you know, men and women get married, and then a lot of times the man's the leader in the family. And I think that men just kind of take more of that quality. But there's some great female leaders out there. But if we can go really generic, just really stereotypical, not to make any judgments about people, but to say that, you know, if you're a woman and you're going to marry a man, you better choose the right leader for your family, right? If you want to be a stay-at-home mom, you better choose a man that's going to have integrity, that's going to have character, that's going to make the money, that's going to support you, and it's not going to leave you when you're sick and tired and X, Y, Z, right? So sometimes choosing a leader is like in a relationship. Sometimes choosing a leader is who you're going to work for. Who do you believe in? And when Google went public, when it like had its public offering, I believe there was 900 people that became millionaires overnight. 900 employees that had invested in the company that said, I believe in this. And then it reached that tipping point, and then they all made it because of that company. And the question becomes then in life, who are you going to follow? What leader are you going to follow? Because believe you me, once they're at that point where they found the success, they don't need you anymore in life. Nobody needs you. You all of a sudden become another cog in the system. You have to be somebody special. But where you can get in the world is to find someone that hasn't achieved their potential, but they're a strong leader and you believe in them. Now look at Take Flight as that. As I say, we have a team that used to be even bigger. But then people said, I'm not getting paid enough money, I left, blah, 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 blah. I said, guys, you're following the wrong leader. We have one athlete recently, we used to pay him. He would make videos for us, we'd pay him money and blah, blah, blah. He stopped working for us, he's working for another parkour brand. And I wrote him, I said, hey, why are you working for another brand? I'm just curious. Like, everyone is going to choose their own things in life, but I'm just curious. Why are you working? And he said, well, he gave like a bunch of really bad excuses. I could tell that he wasn't comfortable with his answers. But basically his answer was, well, they promised that they would pay me in the future. And I said, I'm not going to say his name, but I said, but we were paying you. And he goes, oh yeah, he goes, well, and then he gave some other excuse, you know, that made no sense. Then he said, well, I want to follow David's path, like David Bell. And I said, like, those guys don't even know David. You know, I worked with David. You know, I was part of his family. Like, what more do you want? Like, he's giving these really crappy excuses. And what it comes down to is he just likes the brand better. Okay, that's fine. But be honest with who you are.
Be honest with it,
But my point is like, if you really want to get paid, why would you go to a company that's not paying you over a company that is? Like, what leader are you following? Like, what steps are being established? And I think that Take Flight is years and years ahead of the game. There's certain things in company building that takes years and years to develop. But you have to be at a certain point before you can even start developing that. Certain relationships, certain financial structures, all these different components. Take Flight is like at the end point, like licensing, for example. These other parkour brands aren't even in the point where they can consider licensing because they haven't even taken those steps. So we're like years ahead of where people are even able to start building the systems we've already completed. And then the question again becomes, well, who are you going to follow? Who are you going to follow? You're going to follow this brand that has a bunch of promises but hasn't sold any product, but you like one of their athletes and you want to be friends with him? Or you want to follow a brand that's doing what they say they're doing, that continues to have that integrity to follow their promises, you know? And just back to the point, you got to choose what leader you're going to follow, because none of us are there yet. And once we are there, right? If you haven't already signed up with us, then why would we put you at the top of the ladder? You know what I'm saying? If I all of a sudden had a $50,000 contract I was able to give out, would I go to some athlete that's never supported us, that's worked with other brands? Or would I say, who in our team can we give that money to? Or would we split it up between 5 of our best guys on our team? Forget that guy on the other brand. I don't care who you are, Foski, Kai, Posh, I don't give a F about those guys. They work with other companies. I care about Danny, DeAndre, Joey, our team that's building what we're doing. All right? And if those guys want to come on board with us, you guys, you're welcome. I would love to have them on board. But if I have $1 million tomorrow, those guys can go take a hike and go to Antarctica. I don't give a F about those guys in that context, right? Because it's about the people that help you get there. Right? I would love to have I'll say it in the camera, I would love to have all you guys on our team. Pasha, Kai, I mean, you guys to me, Foski, you guys are phenomenal athletes, great people. You have great followings, great vision, super talented. But if it comes to the end of the day, I'm going to work with the people that helped me get to where I am. I'm going to work with my friends. I'm going to work with the people that believed in me as opposed to people that didn't.